it's time to recognize all the countries that are represented here. I'm going to ask you to be upstanding so that we give each of these flags some respect as they come down, and as your country is represented, please give them a round of applause. Please give them some cheering. It's the United States of America. now remain upstanding as we remember the Rotarians that have left us in the last Rotarian year.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. You may be seated.
I would like to get this conference started. And without further ado, I'd like to invite Andrew Kito. Andrew Kito is a member of the Rotary Club of Nairobi East. Andrew is married to Carol, and together they have two sons and two daughters. He is a finance controller of Menard Ricard. Andrew holds a master's degree in international studies from the University of Nairobi, where he also holds a bachelor's degree in commerce. He is also a certified public accountant. He likes reading books and loves dogs. A Rotarian from Rotary Club of East Africa. Rotary Club of Nairobi East. Hey, my apologies. Okay, Andrew has served in various leadership roles since joining the Rotary family in 2015 at the Rotaractors Club of University of Nairobi. He is a past president of the Rotaractors Club of Nairobi East, where he's also served as a director in various dockets, both in the club and in district level. And the Rotary Club of Nairobi East, he's also the current on-officer DISCON and RICON, and has previously served as the club treasurer. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Andrew Kipto.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinguished honor to introduce to you the chairperson of the DCA 2022, Rotarian Antoinette A. Absalom, better known as AAA. She is a corporate lawyer with over 20 years multinational experience in the fast-moving consumer goods sector and legal practice. She's gained from working with global brands like Coca-Cola and Unilever, in Central, East, and West Africa. AAA is a principal consultant at Arete Business. AAA, chair of the DCA 2022.
Good morning. Friends and family of Rotary, I will not do the protocols, I will just say all protocols observed. Welcome to Diani. On behalf of the entire District Conference and Assembly Committee, Andrew and I, we have the distinct privilege this morning of welcoming you all to the 97th edition of the 9212's District Conference. This is the first in-person conference we are having since 2018. And it is also the first time that we are holding a joint conference between Rotarians and Rotaractors in this district. And I'd like to give a special shout out this morning to the District Rotaract representative, Emmanuel George Otieno. He has two names for a reason. Please be upstanding, Emmanuel. Thank you very much. It is our hope that the program we have put together as a team will keep you all engaged. It will provide each of you with an opportunity to fellowship, and I hope you did a lot of that yesterday, and build lasting memories that you can take with you, so that when you leave here, you will remember how Diani was. And I hope you'll also find time to rest and refresh, because you are at one of the best beaches in the world, Diani. So 14 months ago, this day was actually a very distant dream, because we were planning a conference in the middle of a pandemic. You know how 2020 and 2021 were. We were not certain on anything. So we have planned this conference with numerous and unprecedented challenges. But we are glad that we are all here today, and we'd like to give our special thanks as a committee to the vision, the ambition, and the support we have received from our District Governor Alex, our District Rotaract Representative George, and also to the sheer grit and dedication of the awesome team of volunteers that have worked with me on this committee to put this event together. I kindly ask any member of the DCA committee that's here to kindly join me on stage at this point. These guys have worked tirelessly, and they have gone over and above the call of duty through some very difficult circumstances in order to put this event together. DCA committee team members, if you're standing on the ground, please come to the stage. We don't have too much time, so that we can work. We are not all here because some of us are still serving you out there, so please take this as our representation of those who are here. Now, as they come up, I'd like to make a special request to all of us. I'd like us to all remember that all these people standing on stage are Rotarians and Rotaractors first, like all you are, but they are volunteers. They have offered of their time and their resources to make sure that we meet, hopefully, we exceed your expectations during the next 3 days. So I would kindly ask us to put our hands together for this team and say thank you for the work.
Dear family of Rotary, please allow me to skip the formalities. Like I said, I'm feeling very shy and I might forget, but I will recognize each and every one of you individually before we leave this place. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the District Conference 2022, a long time coming. And the first time that we are having an in-person joint conference. I say in-person joint conference between Rotarians and Rotaractors because this has been an ongoing attempt for the last 3 conferences. We first tried in 2020 when the pandemic just hit. PDG Joe and PDRRSK were the first to set us on this path. We then tried again in 2021. IPDG Patrick and IPDRR Gaia gave it the second try, but as they say, third time is the charm. Welcome to Diani. A joint conference means joint energies. So please mingle, interact, and I say that with the omission of interact as a form of membership in Rotary or as a program of Rotary. So hopefully we will also soon have a joint conference with our interactors, which where they're always represented but never quite part of the process. It has been a good year of collaboration with Rotarians, Rotaractors, interactors, various partners. It has been a year of a lot of learning. The thing with having a joint conference is there was a lot of adjusting and stepping up to be done. And in many ways, we have stepped up to the plate as Rotaractors and Rotarians, and in many ways, we have quite a ways to go. So, being the first, I would like to encourage us all to build into the future with the next conferences, the next Rotary years, and continue this collaboration. We are here in Diani for a good time, not a long time, so I'm going to keep this short and wish us all an unforgettable experience. As I introduce our next speaker, my partner in service this Rotary year, DG Alex Nyaga. Acts of generosity, kindness, gratitude inspire every deed Alex Nyaga, the youngest serving district governor for District 9212, undertakes. From a young age, when his father, past district governor, Rotarian Harry Mugo, would take him along to interact with underserved communities, he was touched by how faces lit up when Rotarians extended an arm to transform lives. To motivate youth to join Rotary, in 2001, he joined and served as charter president of the Rotary Club of Nairobi Langata, my mother club, Waza. In 2008, his love for Rotary deepened when he and fellow Rotarians from then District 9200, comprising of Uganda, Tanzania, Ethiopia, and Kenya, traveled to Indiana, in the USA, for a group study exchange program. They were immersed in vocational experiences at various companies, and the love of Rotarians from all parts of the Indiana community who opened their hearts and homes and networks that continue to propel Rotary service projects forward. Alex is a major donor to the Rotary Foundation and has previously held many offices and accomplishments such as Assistant Governor for District 9200, Vice Country Chair and Country Chair Kenya. Through his aspirational motto of One Love, he leads by example, igniting youthful fun in service while governing more than 3,800 Rotarians and over 2,700 Rotaractors in Districts 9212, comprising of Kenya, Ethiopia, South Sudan, and Eritrea. I have seen, and I'm still trying to match that energy. He envisions a vast Rotary community, fired up and committed to uplifting societies with the resources around them. Alex attained his degree in hotel management from the prestigious École Les, I'm not going to pronounce that last one, Roche in Switzerland, as well as, did I get it right? It's Roche? La Roche. Forgive me. Our Swiss delegates, we have a few Rotaractors from there. As well as an associate degree, science degree in food and beverage management from the New England Association of Hotel Management Schools, USA. Alex currently serves as the group CEO at Parapet Group, a leading integrated facilities management company in East Africa. He also serves on various corporate boards across East Africa and pays it forward through mentoring young business leaders. He is happily married to Paula, and together they are blessed with teenagers, Tyrese and Matthew. In his spare time, the district governor enjoys dancing. I don't think that's in his spare time. That's like his main gig now. Yoga, walking, swimming, and social networking. I am yet to see you swim, DG. We shall meet at the pool. Please welcome DG Alex Nyaga. Rotary International, President's Special Representative, RI Director Elizabeth Usovich, and your amazing, awesome husband, Dean. And I hear Dean is going to be the DJ for this evening, so he's got some spins in there. Our Rotary International Trustee, Mama Hurricane Gita Manek. Our past district governors. These are pretty decent girls and gents. Our guys, let us recognize our PDGs in the room. Let us recognize your Mwajue so that we can know them. Our PDGs in the house. I need to hear more Chia and our district governor-elect, amazing lady in the house, our new sheriff coming soon, DG Azeb Asrat. And our lovely hubby, Getty. Please be outstanding, Getty. You are first gent. Our district governor nominee, Leonard Ithao. Smilon Sawa. Our district governor nominee, Dr. Kamau. I would like to recognize our partners as well. We would not have been able to do this without our special partners in service. And representing them, I would like to request that we recognize Mr. Charles Mudiwa. He's also a Rotarian, and he's the chief executive of Stanbic Bank, our key sponsors for this district conference. I need to hear a better hand for this podium. Thank you so much, Charles, for your great support. And to all the other partners, you're representing them. And they're all in this room, and you'll be getting to experience and hear from them as we move with the various events later today. I'd also like to recognize my dear wife, Haula. Hey, so you stand up. Thank you. I believe all protocols have been observed. But last but not least, I want to recognize my DRR. DRR George, please be upstanding. I know you have stepped in big shoes. Now we are equal partners, and from the most amazing club, the Rotaractors Club of Langata, One love. You're forgetting. One love. One love. Thank you. One of the chief highlights of a Rotary District Governor's year is the annual district conference. It is therefore with great pleasure that I welcome you to my first written speech. I welcome you with a heartfelt sincerity this morning to this 97th District Conference of District 9212 here in Diani. The theme of this year's conference, based on the Rotary International theme of doing more and growing more, will be focused in the area of leadership. We will be addressing issues relating to this theme this morning, led by a panel of captains of industry that will get to interact with us. But before I do that, I have some breaking news, especially on the area of growing more. As at yesterday, I received the great news that we now have in our map the Rotary Club of Kitui. Now, this was done in honor of our district governor nominee, Leonard Ethiopia. And I would also like to give a special recognition to the Rotary Club of Bamburi, the Club of Bamburi, led by our President, Diani. I would like to recognize a special group of people. And these are the Rotaractors and the Interactors that have continued to. Where do you think that your governor gets the energy from? It's from these guys. They keep me young. And I would like to recognize all the Rotaractors, Interactors in the room. Please be upstanding. Where are you, my energy givers? Can I see your energy? Bring it up. Now, because you're sitting on red seats, don't be you. Just be you. Thank you so much. Most of the Rotary clubs in the district were proud to take me on a tour of some of their most worthwhile projects. And I witnessed every manner of projects, be they medical, literacy, community, or water and sanitation. I could go on and on about the various projects, but due to the constraint of time, I will not dwell on that. And I'll allow you, as leaders, to please continue telling your one love stories and the good deeds that you're doing. Now, even though the conference has just begun, I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely thank you all for turning up. We have a record 600 plus delegates in this room today. I would also wish to sincerely thank my sponsors, because even we have a sponsor. The Rotary Club of Langata, led by their president, Izito. Where are you guys? I can't see you. Where are my people? The Rotary Club of Langata. And also our host club here in Diani, the Rotary Club of Diani. Let us recognize, led by our queen. Let me tell you this, guys. At this conference, you will hear and see the services that Rotarians perform throughout our district. As you all recognize, Rotary is not just about service. It's just as importantly about fellowship, through which we hope to promote goodwill and understanding amongst the people of the world. Fellowship comes naturally to us Africans. Am I vipi? So let us interact. Let us make new friends, and let us reunite those that we have not seen in a long time. I expect that this will be the order of the day in the days up ahead. The hospitality setup that has been put specifically with you in mind will be ready for you in the next 2 evenings. And there will be long nights
and eye drops for the morning. Finally, I invite you to make the most of your district conference. We have an amazing program that has been set up for you in mind. And we also have the House of Friendship that has an array of, you go see for yourself, I don't have to explain it. The House of Friendship is amazing. And you will get to dress up, you get to buy your merchandise for Rotary and so on and so forth. And it's also a place that you can be able to do your business and interact with your newfound friends. Together, let us continue towards fulfilling this year's RI theme of Serve to Change Lives. And let's do it with, let's do it with, finally, one love, one love. Now we have a conference, and it's my great pleasure to open this district conference 97 in Diani.
It is now my distinguished honor to welcome the past DG, Eric Kimani, who has been the aide to the river. And in this role, I am told that he performed it with the wonderful assistance of his spouse, Margaret. Ladies and gentlemen, for this super philanthropist, this man who is one of the great brains we have in this country, please give him a round of applause. Mr. Eric.
And you know, this is the first time that we have the most first-time attendees to any conference in our district. So around me, we do a bit of teaching. You know, I love teaching. So we have learned one vocabulary today, that Eric Kimani is a PDD. Is a what? PDD. Which means? Oh, no. Pretty decent guy. But on a more serious note, allow me to explain to our first-time attendees who is a Rotary International President representative. Rotary has more than 535, I think it's 538 districts like this one. And every year, for 2 years, a director is chosen to represent 2 zones of the districts that come together. There are 34 zones in the whole world. So there are 17 Rotary International Directors. The RI President cannot come to your conference, although it is his conference. So he chooses people to represent him in the 538 districts. And one of the people chosen this year is Rotary International Director, Elizabeth Musomi. She represents zones 30 and 31 as the director for the next 2 years. She is an innovative entrepreneur, a web columnist, and a 24-year member of the Rotary Club. At Whitespace Consulting, a management consulting practice focused on leadership coaching. So she has, prior to founding Whitespace, developed her leadership skills at Deloitte and at Heroes of Mexico, at Venture University, and taught at the Kennedy School of Government at the Harvard University. She speaks Spanish, French, and has spent nearly 10 years working and living and doing business in Europe, Asia, Latin America, and many other countries. She has served as a volunteer, mentor, and advisor to startup companies. Her 20-year passion in Rotary is supporting orphans, particularly at risk in Malawi, South Africa. or Central Africa. She has written 10 Rotary Foundation grants herself, writing the grant, those of you who know how much work that involved, and led vocational VTTs to Malawi in 2016. She and her team worked alongside our RI Director, Elizabeth, and her husband, Dean Mariuson, are both major donors to the Rotary Foundation. They are Paul Harris Society members, Request Society members, and benefactors of the Rotary Foundation. Family and friends of Rotary, may I please ask us to arise and give a rousing welcome to our guest of honor.
Ni heshima kuwa na hii. I hope I said it's an honor to be with you, and if I didn't, I apologize. And please accept my congratulations and my greetings on behalf of Rotary International President Shekhar Mehta. I know Shekhar has been to your country before, to your district. He is very sorry that he couldn't be here. I am very honored to be here in this place. Thank you also for your great gift of your presence here and your service to Rotary. Thank you for being Rotarians and Rotaractors. This work makes such a difference. I would like to thank your very esteemed energy Governor Alex, One Love Governor Alex, for this very kind invitation and for making Dean and me feel, as all of you have, so welcome here. It is very kind of Alex and Paula to welcome us, and I'm thrilled to be here to join you for this weekend of One Love. I am also very deeply grateful to my aides, past District Governor Eric, and his wonderful wife, Rotarian Margaret. Eric, as you know, is, in addition to being a pretty nice guy, is also your zone's endowment and major gift officer. And both of them are just absolutely wonderful people, and they have been so kind and very patient and very good friends to Dean and me. So, asante. I also would like to express my thanks and appreciation to Rotary Foundation trustee and past district governor, whom I didn't know was known as Mama Hurricane until yesterday. Gita Mane, for her invaluable advice and counsel, and for making us also feel so welcome when we arrived in Nairobi earlier this week, here in District 9212. For this very special celebration and conference. And I am also very, very glad to see family and friends in this expansive Rotary family. And I have never seen a better flag ceremony in my life. And I also want to thank the committee who organized this amazing conference. AAA, or Antoinette, and Andrew. And Andrew is, if Antoinette is AAA and you're Andrew, are you the A? They have put tremendous effort and dedication and joy and love into creating this conference for all of us this weekend. Thank you. I'm here to meet you, I'm here to learn, I'm here to appreciate how you celebrate and serve in Rotary, here in District 9212. And I'm here to respect the difference that you make in the world as you serve to change lives. And as I have already experienced, you are changing your world and changing lives, one project at a time, one club at a time, and one heart at a time. Rotary is changing and adapting. We are coming out of a COVID lockdown situation, and we are now in a new world for the world and for Rotary. Yet, leadership, fellowship, integrity, diversity, service. They will continue to endure as our essential values. We will continue to find new ways to experience Rotary that are relevant and appealing to a diverse range of prospective members. And your enthusiastic partnership with Rotaract and your growth in membership in this Rotary year are exemplary, and they indicate that you are already doing this. I thank you and I congratulate you for that work. Two key questions for all of us in Rotary throughout the world, now and into the future, is this one first. What value does Rotary bring to the quality of my life? And also for us and for the future members that we will attract to our organization, this question: how can Rotary appreciate and recognize the unique value that we and each member brings to Rotary? We are seeing this question answered in the development of cause-based clubs, and I know there are some in formation here in your district. And they are emerging, and I think this is a development that will become even more prominent in the future across the Rotary world. And as our global issues continue, as Governor Alex has indicated, countries and cultures and points of view are sometimes challenging. As the world comes to terms with our limited resources, and also the limited distribution of our resources, which is often the root of our differences, our conflicts. Our work in peace building and the Rotary Peace Centers, like the newest peace center on this continent in Africa, will become even more important. And this ability of ours to achieve positive change, even in challenging global conditions, that is one of our strengths. And nothing exemplifies this better, I would say, than our collective goal to eradicate polio. Polio eradication has been our common aim for more than 35 years, and that occurred ever since the Rotary International Convention in 1985, which happened to take place in the city where I now live, in Kansas City. At that convention, Rotary members worldwide voted to make polio eradication our #1 priority. And our decades of progress have been significant. Through our partners, including the World Health Organization, the Centers for Disease Control, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, UNICEF, and the funding and volunteer hours of Rotary members here in District 9212 and around the world. Because of this, we have reduced polio cases by 99.9% since 1988, and today, only 2 countries are not yet free of polio, Pakistan and Afghanistan. And to date, I saw a report from Tuesday of this week. There have been only 3 cases of polio in the world so far in 2022, as compared to 6 cases worldwide in 2021. We are so close. We are so close. Polio eradication is not for the faint of heart. It's for the brave, and it's for the quietly determined. And we have persevered through the challenges of cases of outbreak, as we saw here in Africa in Malawi in February. We've persevered. We persevered through risks for the health workers, many of them women, who go door to door to find the children and administer the vaccine. Polio eradication efforts in these challenging conditions take patience, adaptability, diplomacy, and an unflinching commitment to fulfill our promise to the children of our world. Our job is not yet done, and we are in it until we finish. We will finish this job. We will be the first organization to eradicate a disease. and in the heart of our ability to address the needs of our brothers and sisters in this world and around the world. This good is made possible by all of us, all of you, the Paul Harris Fellows, the Paul Harris Society of our Rotary Foundation around the world and here in your district. And now I have seen, since I have been here, I have seen many of you wearing pins of the Rotary Foundation, and you are clearly and should be very proud of your support. Thank you. And like each of you, there are many reasons that I am a Rotarian. There are many reasons why I volunteer my time and talent. There are many reasons why I give. But it was only a few weeks ago that I heard my reasons expressed very simply and powerfully by a Rotary Global Scholar who happened to be DG Alex in my zones from Indiana. Now, I did not know that you had been in my zones. So now I feel we have had our own friendship exchange. So thank you for that. This global scholar, I think she proves as well that a quote that was said by the spiritual leader, the Dalai Lama, and he said, "If you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito." This global scholar, her name is Clarice, and she was sponsored by a district in Indiana. She is from a multiracial, multicultural background, and she studied a master's degree in economic and community development and global cooperation at Waseda University in Tokyo, Japan. And in a message to her Rotary District supporters, she said, "I was not the most experienced candidate. I did not have the most impressive curriculum vitae. But you saw my heart, Many of us are fortunate that we can see the impact. We recognize that we have seen the impact of our gifts, our time, our projects, in the faces of the people who benefit, like that global scholar, Clarice, in the people we serve, in the lives of people whose lives are changed through our humanitarian projects. I have been humbled to see it in the faces of under fives in Malawi. But the true significance of our work and our gifts was very well expressed by global scholar Clarice. It's a gift to see the hearts of the people that our contributions benefit, even when we may never meet them or we may never be able to see their faces. And every contribution that you have made to vaccinate children against polio, only 60 cents US, for every project you have funded, like the health center you support, the tree you plant, the support you give so that a girl can go to school. You see their hearts. In Kenya, in Somalia, in South Sudan. For those of you who supported the cyclists who biked unbelievably from Nairobi to here in order to raise money for heart surgeries for children. Those of you who did that, I see your hearts. I see you and I see your hearts, and that's what I celebrate with you today, tonight, tomorrow. And I can't wait to see Dean as DJ. I have no idea what's going to happen. I want to thank you again for inviting me to join you today. And please, let us find opportunities to speak with one another over the weekend. I would welcome the opportunity to meet each of you. And so with that, I say, keep your hearts shining for all to see with one love. Asante sana. Shokran. Amase Janata.
For her, please. Now, without further ado, we move on to the club roll calls. Addis Ababa Pole, Addis Ababa North, Addis Ababa West, Addis Ababa Central Maryland, Addis Ababa and Toto, Athi River. But, how do you pronounce that? Ethiopia?
Bad man looking good in here, sorry. Bagzaben.
Yes, that's
Bagzaben.
Yes, Bahari Mombasa, Baburi, Colorado.
you. E-Club of Uganda Global, El Damaravin, Eldoret, let's hear it. Eldoret Wasingishu, Embakasi, Embu, Gashie, Hurlingham, and Ingelheim.
Rotary Club of Jaima, Rotary Club of Juba, Kampala, Kakamega, Karatina, Karen, Karula, Kericho, Kikuyu, Kitwe.
An ECD center for us is a center with 2 classrooms, with an office, with sanitation facilities, but also nutrition. All ECD students in this county, they take porridge every morning across the town. And we also provide books and learning materials, and we have employed 949 as of now, new ECD teachers on a permanent and perishable scheme. So I think if you want to partner with us, you know we are also leading the way. In healthcare, in 2013, we had only 34. In their county had 34 dispensaries. Now we've done new 150. And these 150, for us, that facility has to have a maternity, and then we also have staff, equipment, and medicine. We've upgraded Musambweni to a referral hospital, and it has an ICU with 10 beds, and we also have a renal unit and the other facilities. We just opened a blood bank, so we don't have to go to Mombasa for blood. Kwale County has 20 wards. And what we've done is we clustered the wards, and that clustering helps us to declare health centers that can be accessible to the Wananchi at that level. So we have also 16 ambulances that we have stationed in the different parts of the county to enable healthcare access to those who are vulnerable. So ladies and gentlemen, I can say a lot more because we have done a transformation. And one of the other things we've done is a new college. We have a new quality teachers training college, and those who have followed, they remember when His Excellency visited, he was impressed and he instantly approved additional 150 million from national government so that we can be able to continue with that program. So I think I needed to just say some of these things so that when we talk about partnership, then we can be on the same page. You can know the Kwale County government is a serious partner. And you know, I have looked at your structure. You know, your structure of leadership is very elaborate. It provides for retirement, it provides for future. Like now we have Alex here, the governor. The next governor is known. I've already been introduced to the future governor of the Rotary. It's Nikwete. And I think, you know, when he came to my office, I was telling him I'm 3 months to retire, and I have a wealth of experience in development. So, because I'm used to be called the governor, I wanted him to create space for me so I can come here and also continue to be called governor. But this morning I saw there were quite a number of people ahead of me. So for those that are ahead of me, I say congratulations. And you know, I think the next governor will be a lady. The next Rotary governor will be a lady. And you know, the Rotary program has a very good mentorship because you know in advance. So you are prepared. Your leadership skills are nurtured.
But I've also done the same, Alex. Because you know I'm 3 months to transit. Because you know also, Mungo, you know my age, you saw when you were reading. My age is still very energetic. So I'm 3 months to transiting. And I have also been very successful in mentoring the next governor for this county. He's also female, you know. So now we are very deep in the campaigns. But you know, we have said here, whatever we have started can still continue with the person that we have prepared. You know, we're talking with Joe, Otin, and you learn from them, but you also get it easy when you are implementing whatever you have agreed to do. And I think that is an issue that I was discussing lightly during coffee. But I think there's a lot to learn from the Rotary in terms of how they have managed their issues, the way they implement their programs, the fundraising, the commitment, the passion. Because it is through passion that can drive you to be a volunteer for many years. So I want to say that whatever you are doing, whatever you are volunteering to do, the support you give to communities, that is something that we notice, and I want to say congratulations. It is not easy. I don't have much to say. I just want to say thank you very much. Today is Friday, so I might not spend a lot of time here because now we go to the mosque and then we have other programs in the afternoon.
Leadership, Rotarians and Rotaractors, good afternoon. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, Abel Mutua.
Wow! To the Rotary District 9212, the Kwale County Government, all protocols observed. Habari zenu? Mko salama wenzangu? For all those who don't speak Swahili, how are you? How's the heat? How's the heat? You like it? All right. I tell stories about ordinary people doing not so extraordinary things. You might call them very dumb things. I have a very popular show on YouTube called Young and Stupid. It's just for people who made mistakes in life and they learned from them. Such an inspiring show. I tell stories about heroes and heroines of Africa. I tell stories of great events that have happened on this continent. So one of the stories that I told was the story of a guy who's the true definition of a bold and youthful leadership. He's a true statesman. He is an African, he's no longer with us. He was an African enigma. And this was the president of a country in West Africa called Burkina Faso. At the time it was called Upper Volta, but he changed the name when he took power to Burkina Faso. And the name of this president is Thomas Sankara. So let me just give you a brief history of Thomas Sankara. So by the time Thomas Sankara was getting into power in 1983, he was only 33 years old. At that particular time, Burkina Faso was wallowing in poverty, like nothing was happening for them. Lucky for him, he had known the things that were ailing Burkina Faso, and he listed them down, and 4 of them were, number 1, poor governance and corruption. Number 2, underutilization of resources. Number 3, poor health. And number 4, over-dependence on the West, to be specific, their colonizers. Sankara knew he had to change the status quo if anything was to happen in that country. But he was also brilliant enough to know that change is very uncomfortable. Nobody likes to be uncomfortable, and unfortunately change is uncomfortable. So you have to adapt or die. There's no two ways about it. So first order of business, Sankara got rid of all the corrupt government officials. They were bringing the country down. So Sankara did a pretty good job in selecting his cabinet. He had the people who he thought had his dreams and vision. I don't know guys, but if you ask me, I think Sankara was the true Rotarian. Am I right? Let's just take a moment and go through your areas of focus. By show of hands, what are your areas of focus as Rotarians? Show of hands. Areas. I'm not even at, okay. Environment. Correct. Give him a hand of applause, man. In the 4 years, Sankara planted millions and millions of trees, meaning he was very, very, very particular about climate change. True? Give me another area of focus. Health. During Sankara's tenure, he built hospitals, he vaccinated millions and millions of people. Child and maternal health was greatly improved. True Rotarian. Give me another area of focus. What? Water and sanitation, which is exactly what he did. Before that, people were dying with cholera there because there was no proper water. He had piped water in houses. Ouagadougou was now another paradise. That's the capital city of Burkina Faso. So he's a true Rotarian. I don't know what the highest award for a Rotarian is, but I think he should get one posthumously. What do you think? Yeah? Very nice. And that's the story of Sankara. I just wanted to skim through it because I don't have much time. So now, I want to let you know how this person who died in West Africa 35 years ago impacted a group of young guys in Nairobi, Kenya, 35 years later. So right before the pandemic, we wanted to go into film production. We were not able to do that because, number one, films are greatly underfunded in this country. Number two, distribution for films is non-existent. It does not, we don't have it at all. So we decided to shelve it, this idea, in 2019. 2020, the pandemic came. We were punished. So through the pandemic, I started telling stories and I came across Sankara's story. And Sankara made me realize that I was just like them before Sankara came to be. We shelved a very beautiful idea of making films because we were waiting for aid from the West. Because all the films that have made sense in this country have somehow been funded by the people in the West. Number two, we shelved a beautiful idea because we were waiting for the Warner Brothers, the 20th Century Fox, the distributors of the world to come and distribute our films in Kenya. Why? A very famous philosopher in 2007 said, "Sisi tuna shida zenu, tusikize zako kwa nini?" So then they have their own problems, and you're sitting in Africa waiting for them to come and provide you solutions. Why? Why? So we decided, no, we're not going to shelve this idea anymore, we're executing. So Thomas Sankara showed us the power of the people. He showed us what you can do with the people. Thomas Sankara built infrastructure in Burkina Faso without aid from the West. So Thomas Sankara showed us how important it is to work with the people around you. After telling more than 100 stories, I had built a following. I went back to those same people and told them it will take me not less than 5 years to get funding from abroad. But if you trust me with your 200 shillings, I guarantee you I will deliver a film for you in less than 5 months. Do you trust me? Ladies and gentlemen, as people were tamaking to find funding for films for years, we got funding for our first film in less than 4 weeks. Power of the people. Like, you people are the greatest resource a country can have. What was our pain? Number two, distribution. We were waiting for the Warner Brothers of the world to come and help us. Imagine Pictures, 20th Century Fox. They have no time for Africa, I'm sorry. They have so many beautiful films that they are trying to distribute. in Europe and America and Asia, they really have no time for Africa. So figure that out. That's when we discovered the power of something called collaboration. Us guys are filmmakers, we are creative guys. But the whole world is moving towards tech. We cannot continue distributing our films the same way films were distributed 10 years ago. This movie that was funded by the people that we were able to produce, we went and colonized spaces and converted them into cinema halls. So nobody was taking our 50%. We had no agents there taking our 25%. No, that money was all ours. Our only expenditure was just paying for that hall, which is a drop in the ocean compared to what these cinema halls are charging. Hi. That's number one. Number two, distribution. Everything is going online. So we discovered, okay, we need to collaborate with a tech company. So we collaborated with a tech company and they came up with a method where once you pay 200 shillings to get that film, they send you a link. But this link is unique to a device. So if you pay 200 shillings and I send you a link, then you feel philanthropic, you want to send the same link to your friends so that they can watch for free. Oh, ole. So we were able to send links to as far as Siberia, Yugoslavia, because now the backend can tell you where these guys are watching it from, and sorted the issue of piracy. Had I not watched that Sankara story, maybe I'd still be here waiting for Warner Brothers and 20th Century to come and distribute our film. Believe it or not, that film that we did last year, it's called A Grand Little Lie, went on to become the only film in Kenya since independence to make a profit. It has never happened before. And as I stand here today, my producer is in Nigeria because the film has been nominated for Africa Magic Viewers' Choice Awards for the best film in East Africa. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Partnering with the commercial teams to ensure consistent and impactful.
Japan and Korea from 2003, SFAO Kenya Limited. Then
come and join us back on stage. His bios, as well as leading stock exchange listed financial institutions. Dash LP.
This is Edwin Kipchoge. I want to take this opportunity to welcome you all to Rotary District Conference and Assembly here in Diani. As Rotarians normally focus on leadership and discipline. And I always say, if you are disciplined, then you are free in your life. And if you are indisciplined, then you are a prisoner in your life. Let us all be disciplined. And let us all be leaders, not bosses. I would like to celebrate you for the good work you are doing, that you are serving the community and changing lives of the whole community. One love.
Panel. Let me ask for those, because of time, please just write your questions and someone will hand them over to me towards the end, and then the panelists can respond. And you can write the name to who you're asking the question to, or to anyone in the panel to respond, and that will save us time. We thought we'd use the app later, but in the interest of time, I didn't want to keep this to about 40 minutes, and so we'll really move first.
This invitation and the opportunity to be a panelist today. It's an honor. I'll say here, I'm married, and we have 2 adult sons, and I'm one of 6 children. So I'm a daughter, a sister, but a wife and a mother. But in terms of the leadership journey, you know, we can go through it and it would take a long time, as you heard, the years. Thank you, Carol.
Dennis.
Thank you very much to Rotary for inviting me to be on this panel. From school, as you heard, I did aeronautical engineering. Unfortunately, and Brenda will like this because it will tell you what my age is. When I came back, I had already done a year's internship with East African Airways. but it was dying, and Kenya Airways only had one aeroplane. I was actually appointed for being a troublemaker. Did that for 6 years, and then I came back. I was sent to Japan, and it's also one country where 3 words you never see sticking on anything, on a lift or anything, and those 3 words are out of order. They anticipate and make sure that things are set. Anyway, fast forward, I came back, went back to Toyota, was given the task of diversifying Toyota's businesses in the region. In the process, Toyota realized that to build things from a green field is very, very difficult. It's easier to just buy what's existing and then build it up and turn it. And yet, we bought CFAO, which is a big French conglomerate that was then in 35 African countries, 16,000 employees, and was also Toyota's biggest distributor in Africa. So that's how I've ended up at CFAO. You talk of diversity, we now have Japanese culture, French culture, and the culture of 54 African countries. 10 years it's taken us, and we celebrate in July our 10th anniversary with the biggest profits that either company have ever made in their history. So something worked, and hopefully that will be my swan song. Thank you.
Attributes have gotten you to where you are as a leader?
Cool. Hi everyone. I think for me, I would say 3 things. One, I'll just pick up from Brenda, which is about grit. The second one I guess I can talk about is grace. And grace is basically just, sometimes it's about being at the right time at the right place, getting the right opportunities. I had people ahead of me, and I think for me, Brenda, Patricia, hi Patricia, I didn't know you're here. People like Patricia, who I saw people who are like me doing things that made what I wanted to be very real. And I think it's what Alan was saying is the importance of the roles we all play now, and making sure that we do those roles and just what we show. There's so many other people who are looking at us and actually saying, wow, I want to be that person, and you're inspiring generations and generations after that. So thank you to these ladies, and a lot of grace. And then last but not least is passion. Passion, I think, is, again, what I see and what I've felt a lot since we came here, is about just doing things because it's important to them, because it matters, not because you're getting paid, not because of anything. And when you talk about attributes, it's about grit, it's about really grace and receiving grace, but also giving grace to others, and then really leading with passion and purpose.
So be very clear in your head about who you are and what you stand for. I mean, the examples that I was talking about, Thomas Sankara knew he stands for. And if I look at a lot of young people today, they have no clue who they are. They have a view about somebody on social media, whom they think they are, but they are not them. That's why we have so much suicide rates, because people don't know who they are. So the starting point is, as a leader, be very clear about who you are. 2, be very clear about where you're going, and be very clear about where you're going. It doesn't really matter who is there, but focus on what you're trying to be and where you're going, and know the direction that you're focusing on what it is. 3, be very clear about your values. So when I look at everybody here, there's something that they have that they hold dear. I mean, his is determination, courage, and fight for, believe in that thing and fight for it. And number 4, so be very clear about your values, what holds you. Have discipline. I think Eliud spoke about discipline. We struggle a lot with discipline in terms of leadership. How do you become a disciplined leader who is focused on what they want to do? And then when I look around, for young people, I want to stop now, is avoid instant gratification. Between where you are as a young man and where I am today, there's a thing called hard work that happened there. Yeah, a lot of young people think you can wake up today like you do on Twitter, you change your title and your status and you become a CEO. It doesn't work like that. I mean, he spoke about, he's a young man, so I can use it as an example. He had to go carry placards in the street and be hardworking. So there is a thing called hard work.
Carol. I had told Dennis, my friend, and I think we agree, I said, when any question comes out of politics, you'll be my wingman. I just send it to you, right? And I have to say, I applaud them because they have what I would call grit, courage, passion. But do they truly have it? Are they going into this for the right reason? Are they going into this to serve? Because that's what it's about. It's about service. That's what you all do. I'm just not sure. We go in with that right mindset. Do we go into it to look at how we can accumulate, how we can benefit self? And I think that's where it all goes wrong. But when we say, how do we inspire the youth of today? It is in the curriculum. It's there. There are classes on this. We get taught this. We know what is right and wrong. So basically it comes to your value system. It comes to what Charles said is know your purpose. And that's why some of people may not go into politics, because they truly know this may not be for them. But we need to encourage, because somebody has to do it. So we need to try and be the voice, like you are, Carol, as you lead us in the private sector. We need to hold people to what we call truth to power. And we shouldn't be complacent. We can all find a role. We can all support. And let's live by that word, integrity and truth.
The fact is, how much mentorship are we providing to the young people, and what role models are we providing for young people?
First and foremost, sustainability. The business must be built on the principles of sustainability. It must be built on the principle of solving a need in the community or the society that it is in. Because if it is not doing that, there will come a time when somebody else will provide a better solution to what the family business is selling or making. Secondly, the patriarch or matriarch must run that family business as the captain of a team, rather than this high up here person and the team is way down here. And then the children are all sent off to the UK, Canada, Australia to study. They enjoy themselves thoroughly there, but they don't really want to come back and join the business, but they're made to come back. So run it as a team, give everybody in the team the opportunity to really come out, and yes, if the person in the team is your son or daughter who stands out as the one to take over, hand over to them. If he or she is not, do not. It will die with you.
Very much, Dennis.
Yeah.
That's the same story of Kodak. We used to all say Kodak moment, it became a Kodak moment on themselves. So again, those are good lessons. So Kendi, and even as we wind up, and then I'll go to the questions from the audience that have been sent to me. And on that issue of adopting, adapting, innovation, transforming, because one of the three strong attributes of a leader is to adapt, to innovate, to transform.
Let me tell you, it was difficult for this industry to grow before COVID. So online has come to help us in this sense. Had it been 5-10 years ago, I'd have pretty much begged the broadcasters to air my movie. Right now, I don't need to do that because it's online. So all I have to do is just push and make sure people get to know about it. I have an audience already. You can build your audience from scratch today without the televisions, without the broadcasters. So basically what has happened, we have cut the middleman. So now you are able to get to your consumer directly, and nothing beats that.
Dennis, you want to respond to the same? Because of interest of time, let's try and take a minute each, because I know there's another session coming up.
I'll be very, very quick. And now I'm talking about Toyota globally. We are committed to becoming carbon neutral by the year 2050. But that doesn't mean we do nothing until the year 2049. It means that we have to start now moving towards becoming carbon neutral. And some of the things that we're doing is obviously we're going to go electric vehicles, but there's no point going electric vehicles if the electricity that you use to charge your battery is being produced from coal-fired power plants. So and that's why you see that we're into renewable energy, we're into geothermal power, we're into solar power, and so on. Secondly, besides producing without emissions, and Brenda will be talking, we're also moving towards our cars not emitting. And here in Africa, the biggest emissions are from motor vehicles. So that will be a very big step. And then thirdly, we're moving towards repairing and maintenance cars without emissions, which means here in Kenya, for example, we've already started by putting solar power plants on all our premises, our showrooms, our workshops, our assembly plants, and happily, what little power we take off the grid here in Kenya, it is already 92% renewable energy. So these are the ways that we're combating climate change. In addition, because we know we're in the middle of a revolution, in the middle of great disruptions, we are also investing in mobility-related companies, startups that are geared towards doing away with emissions, doing away with excessive use of motor vehicles, and so on.
There's one about repeat the 3 things you said will never be seen in Japan. I'll just read them out. I hope you remember them as I read them. The other one, what would you tell your 25-year-old self as you look back? Then what one skill would you advise young graduates to learn before joining the job market? And what do you propose to private sector to eliminate dishonesty business behaviors? And the last one, what are the challenges with working with young people? No, that's not yours. If you were to change one thing, similar to the other one, in your leadership journey, what would you be and why?
At 25, I had already said I was going to become a captain of industry. What I didn't realize that you sort of go like this, and you go like this, and you go like this, then sometimes you come down a little before you go on up. But I was very focused, I knew. And I watched the people in the industry, and I had my role models, and I tried to learn as much from them as possible to work my way up. And then see, I've got my assistant here. She's very good. I think there was one about communication. If you're preparing to get a job, there is one skill that you really, really must have, especially if you're looking to getting into leadership, and that's communications. Communications. You must be able to speak, you must be able to write, you must be able to liaise with people, you must be able to understand body language and to be able to give the right signals from your body language. It's said that in a message, when you give a speech, for example, only 17% is retained of what you say. But as much as 60% is from the demeanor and the body language that you give off. So communications is absolutely vital.
One more. The one thing you'd change in your leadership journey?
The one thing I actually did change it. There was a time when, as a leader, I always prided myself, because I was the one giving the vision. When we had a problem, I always prided myself as being able to come to the solution as quickly as possible, and definitely quicker than my team. After a while, I realized that my team wasn't even bothering to try to find a solution. They're just waiting for me to come up with a solution. And as one person, I cannot be as strong as the whole team. You notice I always go on and on about teams. I really do enjoy sports. But yeah, that's the one thing that I realized I had to change, and changed. Give the others enough encouragement and time to help come up with the solution to problems.
Thank you. What are the challenges with working with young people?
I think there are a couple of things that you have to deal with. The first thing is to understand the generations. We're living in a world today where you've got from the silent generation to Generation Z. So how do we understand the requirements of the generations? Realizing that the millennials are now over 40, they're no longer young people anymore. So how do you understand the requirements of the different generations and how they require? The second one that also is there is, how do you manage expectations in a world where everything is so out there? Somebody said the other day that the amount of information a young man gathers in 1 week today is equivalent to the information my father got his whole life. So with access to information, so how do you manage in an information world where there's so much information? So it's no longer about me as the elder, I know everything. It's more about me willing to deal with that. The third one that I think is important is what I call reverse mentoring. How do I allow myself to be mentored by young people? To acknowledge that perhaps I'm not as good at technology as Abel, and perhaps I need him to show me a few things, and that in some instances I have to go back to the streets and learn. So a lot of us have to go back and accept reverse mentoring and acknowledge that they can actually show us a lot of things that we require. And then the last thing is, how do I get young people to understand the importance of working hard? And not just expect things to happen, but actually be there to drive things and make a difference.
Run out of time, but I'll just put this last question, which was for everyone, but I'll ask Kendi and Abel just to respond with one example without going into details. What frustrations have you encountered as a leader, and how have you overcome it? Just give one very quick example. You can take half a minute.
One frustration that I've encountered as a leader. It's not easy to get people who believe in your dreams, especially the young people nowadays. Microwave success, man. So you have a vision and you know it's going to pay off in like 4 or 5 years, but nobody is willing to take that walk with you. They want things to happen immediately, and that has been a concern, especially with the Gen Zs. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the same thing, which is linked, which is managing young people, is the acceptance that you're not the smartest in the room, and actually you don't know. When we became the leader, when we were growing up, the leaders knew everything. But when you're sitting in a room and you actually realize that the leadership task, I like what you said about reverse mentorship, is at the end of the day, you just show the picture. So an example like I tell you is when I'm doing digital marketing, somebody in my team will come and tell me the opportunity for this you're gonna do. However you do it, just do it, and you trust and build that, and then you even learn from the process. So,
the last question for Brenda and I. So we are both soft-spoken. I didn't think so. And how we've managed to be leaders in a world where people appreciate loud leaders.
I am not soft.
But yeah, thank you very much. 20 minutes would have gone on and answer all the questions and a few more, and also a few others that prepared for them, so that you can challenge them. But I think they really have done well. I hope they've reminded us of lessons that we have maybe forgotten of leadership, and also how to deal with different generations. Part of why I left this team was just because of that we're dealing with also two different generations. We're dealing with different organizations, continental, local, almost going continental, global, and local. And so this was an excellent time. So hopefully we'll have another opportunity to interact with all of you. But forever, because I'm not sure you heard what the rest were welcoming, which clubs are welcoming you from. I'm loud. Rotary Club of Langata. Thank you. Karibu sana, and we'll be looking forward to having you there. Asante sana. Back to you, man.
Well done. Please stay on just for a second. Carol, well done moderating this and leading the campaigns for Abel Mutua. We have some gifts for you. Some of the gifts are from the Rotary Club, and also some gifts graciously given by Stanbic Bank. Thank you very much, Bona Chief Executive, for that. And so I'm going to ask PDG Peter Mbui to come up stage and just move a vote of thanks for this panel and give the gifts. You can take a microphone from there.
And as he comes up, you know, when I finished fourth form, he was my first employer. And he did a good job. See where I am today.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that was a wonderful presentation. And I want to thank all these leaders, great leaders, for informing and training us so well. And as I call them, I'll just mention something you have said, and we'll start with Brenda from GE, the company that supplies our jet engines. And if you didn't know, our locomotives engines as well. And of course, you remember they created the light bulb, and also that Jack Welch was the CEO, and I've read a lot of his books. And she tells us that you either adapt or die. So this thank you very much, Brenda, Ambassador, a member of the coolest club in the city. Actually, a charter member of our club, the only remaining charter member of our club. And some of the things we have learned from Dennis. If you want to change in 2050, you better start now. Carol Kendi, go ahead and take your gift. Abel Mutua talked about Thomas Sankara, the great young man. Finally, Carol keeps on shouting, hey, stop that and all that, to become a great leader. Carol, we are very proud of you, and as a member of Rotary Club of Langata, we think that you are a very great asset to Rotaractors. Thank you very much. And finally, give a round of applause to all these, our presenters, for a wonderful presentation. Asante sana. You may now take your seats.
Before you take your seats, thank you very much, PDG Peter Mbui. I'd like to give just an opportunity to the Chief Executive Stanbic to just say a little something about the gifts that he's giving you as well.
This is just to say thank you very much to our presenters for thank you to our presenters for sharing leadership. I think the importance of leadership today cannot be understated. If there's anything Africa needs today, is bold, courageous leadership. And as we look into the future, it's important that we do leadership. So it's a small token from Stanbic Bank to say thank you for putting yourself out and being vulnerable for us. We really appreciate it and sharing this moment. I can assure you there's no money in there, so don't attack them as just a small token, and it's fully compliant, the KRA, it's well within limits, and the bribery is nothing. Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to ask the panelists to stand and take a group photo just where you're standing with the DG as well, and then we can go on to the next part of our program. Maybe move a little closer. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, PDG. Thank you very much, DG, and our wonderful panelists and moderators for a job well done. You may take your seats now.